The first hint of light seeped gently over the horizon, brushing the tops of terracotta rooftops with a soft, amber glow. Rome lay quiet, still wrapped in the lingering haze of night. The Tiber River, winding slowly through the city, reflected the faint shimmer of the awakening sun, its water moving in gentle, endless ripples that whispered softly against the stone embankments. The air carried the delicate chill of early morning, crisp but comforting, filling the lungs with a calm that seemed to slow time itself. Shadows lingered in narrow alleyways, stretching lazily across cobblestones, while the faint rustle of leaves in the gardens of patrician houses marked the subtle stirrings of the day. In the distance, a single bell tolled from a modest temple, its low, measured sound rolling across the quiet streets. Each echo faded gradually, leaving a space of complete stillness before the next soft chime. A gentle breeze moved through the city, brushing against the columns of the Forum and the faded frescoes on villa walls, carrying with it the earthy scent of damp stone and dew-soaked soil. Here and there, the first citizens of Rome began to move, though slowly, deliberately. A water carrier adjusted his leather straps, moving carefully along the Tiber's edge, his footsteps muffled against the early damp of the ground. A dog barked once, low and distant, before settling back into its slumber, as if aware that the city's awakening was a process that required patience. Every corner of Rome seemed caught in this delicate balance between night and day. The distant clatter of a cart was muted, the wheels rolling softly over uneven stones, blending with the occasional whisper of the wind through open windows. For a while, the city existed in this suspended moment, neither fully awake nor entirely asleep, a quiet place where even time seemed to pause and breathe. As the sun inched higher, the pale light revealed more of the city's contours, the gentle rise of the Aventine Hill, the graceful arches of the aqueducts in the distance, the broad, empty expanse of the Forum waiting for life to arrive. Rome's heartbeat was slow and steady, the rhythm of the city set not by urgency or noise, but by the gentle, inevitable flow of morning itself. And in this first hour of day, the city held its breath, a deep, tranquil pause before the gentle stirrings of work, life, and motion would gradually rise. The sun rose a little higher, stretching its golden fingers across the city, brushing the worn terracotta rooftops with warmth. Each tile seemed to glow softly, catching the light and holding it, as if Rome itself was slowly waking in gentle waves. The warmth spread gradually, touching the edges of narrow streets, sliding over balconies, and glinting faintly on ironwork and wooden shutters that had endured decades of sun and rain. The streets remained calm, almost reverent in their stillness. A faint rustle of laundry, hung out the previous evening, moved lazily in the morning breeze. The smell of damp stone mingled with the earthy aroma of gardens, herbs and flowers that had opened their petals to the soft light. Tiny birds flitted from roof to roof, hopping from chimney to chimney, chirping in hushed tones, adding a delicate rhythm to the quiet of the city. From the distant hills, the faint sound of water spilling over aqueduct channels added another gentle layer to the morning. It was not loud, not urgent, simply the sound of water finding its path, of life moving steadily and predictably. Occasionally, a cart's soft wheels creaked in the distance, or a lone traveler's sandals tapped on the stones, echoing briefly before fading into silence again. The narrow alleyways, still cool in the shadow of the morning, began to take on a gentle warmth. Sunlight spilled into corners where dust motes danced slowly, drifting lazily in the golden beams. The city, though silent, seemed full of small movements, a cat stretching and yawning on a doorstep, a vine trembling as the wind shifted, a single fig falling quietly from a tree into a soft bed of leaves. From the higher terraces, the city's rooftops formed a patchwork of faded reds, browns, and oranges, each tile catching the sun differently, as if painting a slow, calm picture across the morning sky. The soft glow revealed patterns in the walls, the subtle cracks in plaster, and the worn stone steps that countless citizens had walked over for years. Each detail was small, ordinary, yet hypnotically steady, forming a rhythm that lulled the mind into quiet observation. Even the distant temple of Vesta, standing tall and serene, reflected the sunlight softly, its marble columns warm and muted in the morning haze. The city was not yet awake, but it was alive in these tiny, slow gestures, the movement of leaves, the play of light, the gentle sway of ropes and fabrics in the breeze. Time itself seemed to slow, stretching, expanding, allowing the world to unfold in deliberate, unhurried motion. Rome, in this hour, existed not as a bustling metropolis but as a calm, breathing organism. Each sound, each movement, each flicker of light worked together in a soft symphony, a quiet lullaby sung to the city, inviting every watcher to pause, breathe, and slowly sink into the gentle rhythm of life's morning dance. As the morning light spread further across Rome, the quiet streets began to feel the soft imprint of human presence. Footsteps appeared, not hurried, but measured and deliberate, echoing faintly against the worn cobblestones. Each step was a small, rhythmic sound, a gentle drumbeat in the city's slow awakening. The sandals of early risers scraped softly over uneven stones, while the occasional creak of wooden wheels rolled in the distance, adding a muted counterpoint to the subtle rhythm of the streets. The citizens moved slowly, as though the city itself demanded patience. A baker carried a basket of dough, stepping carefully so as not to spill a single loaf, his breath visible in the cool morning air. Nearby, a messenger adjusted the leather strap of his satchel, the weight pressing gently against his shoulder, each step echoing in quiet, measured intervals. Even the couriers and attendants who would later bustle through the forum walked now with a calm restraint, their movements almost meditative, blending seamlessly with the gentle sounds of the city. The shadows of buildings stretched long across the streets, and each footstep momentarily disturbed the cool shade before disappearing into light. Cats slinked across the stones, pausing to watch humans pass, their tails curling slowly, unhurried. Dogs stirred in the corners of courtyards, raising sleepy heads to sniff the fresh morning air, only to settle back with a slow sigh, mirroring the calm rhythm of their city. The soft sounds of commerce began, though faint and deliberate. A grocer rolled a wooden cart across uneven cobbles, its wheels creaking in time with the subtle clatter of coins dropped into a leather pouch. The distant murmur of voices rose and fell, low and hushed, as if the city itself had asked its citizens to speak gently, conserving the hypnotic calm that stretched across every street and alley. Even the air seemed to carry a measured weight. Dust motes drifted lazily in the shafts of light, stirred only by the occasional passing of a foot or the faint brush of a cart. The rhythm of motion was steady, slow, unbroken, a perfect balance between rest and awakening. Rome's heartbeat was audible here, in the soft contact of feet on stone, in the creak of leather and wood, in the hushed murmurs that blended with the distant river's gentle flow. By the time the sun had risen fully above the rooftops, the city was alive, yet in a deliberate, unhurried way. Footsteps moved across the forum and narrow lanes, each echo fading gently into the warm morning air. The soft, rhythmic sound of walking, paired with the serene light, created a hypnotic pulse, inviting anyone who watched to slow their own breathing, to sink into the quiet cadence of life. Rome, in this early hour, was neither chaotic nor empty, it was a world suspended in gentle motion, where every step, every sound, every fluttering leaf was part of a slow, calming symphony that lulled the city, and all who walked its street. By mid-morning, Rome was fully bathed in a soft, golden light, each street and terrace glimmering gently under the sun's steady ascent. The city no longer lay in the quiet of early dawn, yet its movements remained calm, measured, deliberate. Every sound, every motion, every tiny stir seemed to unfold in slow motion, like the city was stretching itself awake without hurry. The faint whisper of a breeze rustled through the courtyards, moving leaves and fabrics with a gentle, rhythmic cadence. Laundry hung between buildings swayed softly, the colors muted by sunlight, fluttering slowly as if in a silent dance. Birds moved between terracotta rooftops and garden trees, chirping in hushed tones, each note fading gradually into the background of the city's steady rhythm. Citizens now walked more freely, yet their pace remained unhurried. A fruit seller adjusted baskets of figs and grapes, arranging them in careful rows, the slight creak of wooden stands blending with the soft scrape of sandals against cobblestones. A mason worked on the edge of a stone wall, the slow tap of his chisel punctuating the air like a quiet heartbeat. Even the distant river contributed its gentle voice, the water's steady flow weaving into the city's soft symphony. In narrow alleys, cats stretched and yawned, dogs moved lazily along sun-warmed stones, and small children peeked from doorways, their laughter light and fleeting, quickly absorbed into the calm. The scent of baking bread began to mingle with the earthy aroma of sun-heated stone and dewy gardens, a subtle perfume that spoke of morning rituals unfolding across the city. From the heights of the Aventine and Capitoline hills, the city's rooftops and courtyards glimmered in soft, muted patterns, a mosaic of movement and stillness. Shadows shifted slowly, tracing the curves of arches, columns, and steps as the sun climbed steadily, marking the passage of time in the gentlest possible way. Rome breathed, its chest rising and falling in rhythm with the tiny, deliberate actions of its citizens. Even the distant Forum, soon to be bustling with senators, merchants, and travelers, stood quiet now, reflecting the soft morning light in its stone statues and fountains. The city, alive yet unhurried, offered a lullaby to all who paused to listen, the echo of footsteps, the whisper of the wind, the distant murmur of water, and the soft, rhythmic patterns of life unfolding slowly. Rome, in these early hours, existed in a state of perfect balance, neither fully awake, nor asleep, but suspended in a tranquil, hypnotic cadence. And in this delicate stillness, anyone who wandered its streets, observed its rooftops, or listened to its gentle sounds could feel themselves sinking, slowly and peacefully, into the calm heartbeat of the ancient city. The aroma of fresh bread began to drift softly through the quiet streets of Rome, carrying warmth and comfort like a gentle embrace. In a small bakery tucked between sunlit terraces, the first baker of the day moved slowly, deliberately, his hands pressing and folding dough with measured patience. The soft thump of kneading filled the air, a rhythmic, almost meditative sound that seemed to echo faintly along the cobblestones outside. Sunlight spilled through the narrow window, touching the flour-dusted surfaces with a soft glow. Tiny motes of dust danced lazily in the shafts of light, drifting gently as if suspended in time. The baker's movements were deliberate, unhurried, each fold of dough echoing the slow pulse of the waking city. He paused occasionally to feel the texture, to ensure the dough was perfect, the rising rhythm steady and calm, like a quiet heartbeat. Outside, the streets remained peaceful, the soft hum of the city blending with the faint scent of baking bread. A dog stretched lazily at a doorway, lifting its head briefly to sniff the warm air before settling again. Birds moved from roof to roof, their wings catching the morning sun, chirping gently as if in approval of the slow unfolding of the day. The bakery's oven glowed softly, its warmth seeping into the room and touching the wooden shelves stacked with trays of dough. The heat moved slowly through the air, carrying the subtle, earthy scent of fire and flour. Each loaf, placed carefully on the racks, grew in size and promise, rising steadily in the gentle warmth, transforming in silent, mesmerizing rhythm. Outside, a basket of bread sat ready on the doorstep, waiting for the first customers who would soon wander down the quiet streets. Their footsteps, soft and deliberate, would mix with the gentle crackle of the oven and the muted clatter of tools, creating a lullaby of ordinary, peaceful motion. In this small corner of Rome, life moved neither hurriedly nor silently. It moved in the hypnotic, steady rhythm of daily care, of flour and fire, of bread and patience. And in that quiet bakery, as the city's light continued to stretch across rooftops and terraces, the first loaves rose in warmth, carrying with them the calm, measured pulse of Rome itself. The morning sun now streamed more fully into the bakery, illuminating the soft clouds of flour that floated in the warm air. Each tiny speck moved lazily, drifting slowly like snowflakes in a silent, invisible current. The baker's hands, coated in white powder, moved with a calm precision, pressing, folding, and patting the dough in measured, almost ritualistic motions. Every gesture was deliberate, each contact with the soft, yielding dough a gentle echo of patience and care. The room smelled of warmth and wheat, a subtle, earthy scent that filled the senses without urgency. Trays lined the wooden shelves, each loaf resting in quiet anticipation of the heat to come. The baker's eyes followed the slow rise of the dough, noting how it expanded gently, almost imperceptibly, a quiet transformation that demanded nothing but time and attention. Outside, the streets remained hushed. A soft breeze carried the scent of baking bread to the neighboring houses, rustling curtains and stirring the small pots of herbs on windowsills. The distant cooing of pigeons blended with the faint creak of cart wheels, creating a slow, gentle rhythm that seemed to sync with the baker's own measured movements. Even the shadows of the alleyways shifted imperceptibly, stretching and shrinking with the sun's gradual climb. The baker paused briefly, brushing flour from his forehead, and allowed himself a slow, deep breath. The warmth of the oven radiated softly, the stone floor beneath his feet steady and grounding. Each loaf was touched with care before being slid carefully into the glowing oven. The gentle hum of heat and fire rose in the background, a constant, soothing presence that seemed to lull both baker and city into a shared sense of calm. Every small sound, the faint thump of kneading, the whisper of flour settling, the soft tap of wooden utensils, contributed to a quiet symphony. It was a world of soft textures, muted colors, and gentle motions. The day had begun in the slowest of ways, with hands shaping dough, dust floating in sunlight, and the city moving in perfect, unhurried rhythm. In this tranquil corner of Rome, the passage of time was measured not by urgency or alarm but by the slow, deliberate unfolding of daily life. The baker's gentle hands, dusted with flour and guided by routine, mirrored the calm heartbeat of the city itself, rising steadily like the loaves on their trays, warm, soft, and patient. The oven's soft glow filled the bakery with warmth, a gentle radiance that moved slowly across the wooden beams and stone walls. The heat seeped into the room, spreading in quiet waves, touching the baker's skin and the flour-dusted surfaces with a comforting embrace. Each loaf, resting on the racks, absorbed the warmth gradually, swelling silently as the dough transformed beneath the steady, even fire. The faint crackle of the oven was the only sound in the room at first, a quiet, steady whisper that seemed almost like breathing. It was a slow, predictable rhythm, steady and calming, blending with the soft shuffle of the baker's feet across the stone floor. Every movement, every sound, was deliberate, part of a gentle symphony of morning work. Outside, sunlight streamed through the narrow window, glinting on the edges of terracotta rooftops and the leaves of small courtyard trees. The city beyond remained tranquil, citizens moving in slow, measured steps, each footfall absorbed by the soft hum of streets slowly waking. The scent of baking bread drifted quietly out into the alley, mingling with the earthy aroma of sun-warmed stone and early morning dew. The baker paused to check on the loaves, his hands brushing gently over their soft, expanding surfaces. Steam rose slowly, curling into the air in delicate, lazy wisps. It was a subtle, hypnotic sight, the gentle swell and rise of bread under the soft, golden light of day. Each loaf grew steadily, silently, almost imperceptibly, a small, ordinary miracle unfolding with time's patient hand. The warmth of the oven made the room feel timeless, a pocket of steady, unhurried energy amidst the slowly awakening city. Dust motes drifted in the sunbeams, suspended as though in slow motion. A stray cat curled in a patch of sunlight on the windowsill, stretching and kneading the warm stone with slow, deliberate movements. The soft thump of dough being turned, the faint scrape of a wooden paddle, and the whisper of warm air rising all merged into a single, tranquil cadence. Time itself seemed to expand, measured by the slow rise of dough, the gradual glow of the oven, and the rhythmic, patient motions of the baker. It was a quiet, soothing world, where every small action became a gentle lullaby for both the body and the mind. In the warm heart of the bakery, life unfolded in deliberate, hypnotic patterns, and the city of Rome continued its slow, serene awakening just beyond the doorway. The first loaves were finally ready, golden and warm, their crusts crackling softly in the quiet bakery. The baker moved slowly, deliberately placing each one into a woven basket, feeling the heat through the woven fibers, allowing the scent of baked bread to linger in the room a moment longer before spilling gently into the streets. Outside, the soft light of morning touched every cobblestone, glinting faintly off worn edges and highlighting the subtle irregularities in the narrow lanes. The basket of bread was carried carefully down the steps, each footstep cushioned against the stones. The warm, inviting aroma drifted slowly, curling into the open windows of nearby houses, reaching the noses of those who stirred inside, still wrapped in the last moments of slumber. The streets were calm, almost reverent, as the baker set the basket gently against a doorway. A small cat approached, sniffing the edges of the basket before retreating to a sunny patch on the stone, tail curling slowly. A few early risers peeked from the shadows of their homes, eyes half-lidded, drawn by the steady, soothing rhythm of daily life. The bread sat there quietly, a simple, ordinary presence in the soft, golden light, waiting to be taken and carried away in the slow, deliberate rhythm of Rome's morning. A distant cart creaked slowly over the uneven cobblestones, its wheels turning in time with the soft shuffle of feet nearby. The baker paused, allowing himself a moment to breathe in the warmth of the day, the soft scent of bread, the gentle sounds of the streets. The world seemed suspended, a place where every movement, every sound, and every small detail unfolded in unhurried, hypnotic motion. Even as the city gradually filled with the quiet hum of activity, the basket of bread remained a small, calm centerpiece in the morning light. Passers-by picked up loaves with slow, deliberate hands, exchanging soft greetings, the mundane ritual becoming part of the city's gentle cadence. The rhythm of life continued, unbroken, steady, soothing, each small action like a note in a lullaby composed by the ordinary, patient motions of daily work. And so the bakery, its loaves, and the quiet streets became a single, harmonious pulse, carrying the hypnotic, serene heartbeat of Rome outward into every corner of the city. Here, in the warmth of bread and sunlight, in the slow shuffle of sandals on cobblestones, the city and its people moved together, breathing in perfect, unhurried rhythm, as if the entire world had decided, just for a little while, to pause and savor the gentle unfolding of the morning. As the city of Rome stretched fully into morning, the first signs of the patrician class stirring appeared in quiet, deliberate movements. In the shadowed interiors of marble villas, senators and their attendants awoke with measured care. The soft rustle of robes against smooth stone floors, the faint scrape of sandals as they were adjusted, and the gentle creak of wooden doors opening all blended into a subtle, rhythmic prelude to the day's activity. A faint light spilled through narrow windows, touching frescoed walls with warm, amber hues. The senators moved slowly, deliberately, not in haste, each action a deliberate ritual of preparation. Some paused briefly to adjust the folds of a toga, feeling the soft weight of fabric against their shoulders. Others reached for small wax tablets or rolled scrolls, their motions calm and precise, each gesture performed with habitual care. Outside the villas, the streets remained largely quiet, save for the distant shuffle of feet along cobblestones. A courier or two passed by, their sandals tapping softly against worn stones, leaving behind a fading echo that blended seamlessly with the morning sounds of the city. Even the breeze seemed to move with gentle restraint, brushing against columns and terraces, rustling leaves, and carrying the subtle scent of early flowers from nearby gardens. From upper windows, the view of the Forum was a patchwork of light and shadow, statues catching the early sun, fountains gleaming faintly in the distance. The patricians moved through these spaces with care, conscious of both the weight of tradition and the gentle rhythm of the city itself. Their footsteps on the smooth marble floors echoed softly, creating a measured, hypnotic cadence, as if the entire city had agreed to honor the slow, deliberate unfolding of the morning. Even the servants followed the same rhythm, adjusting robes, lighting small braziers, and arranging daily necessities with quiet precision. The faint clatter of small tools, the subtle creak of furniture, and the distant murmur of water in household fountains all merged into a calm symphony. The day had begun, not with chaos or urgency, but with a slow, steady pulse, footsteps and whispers in perfect alignment with the heartbeat of Rome itself. In this early hour, the city's elite moved through their routines like careful dancers, each step, each gesture, each sound contributing to a hypnotic, unhurried cadence. The streets and villas seemed to breathe along with them, every stone and column participating silently in the calm awakening of the ancient city. The senators began their deliberate journey toward the Forum, their sandals brushing softly against the worn cobblestones, each step echoing faintly and fading into the quiet rhythm of the streets. The morning light stretched across marble columns and terracotta roofs, glinting on the edges of the distant aqueducts, and casting long, dappled shadows that moved gently with the sun's slow ascent. Their procession was unhurried, measured, as if each step carried the weight of centuries. Attendants followed closely behind, carrying small scrolls or carefully folded robes, their movements synchronized with the soft rhythm of the senator's passage. The soft rustle of fabric, the quiet creak of leather sandals, and the occasional whisper of instructions blended into a calm symphony of motion. The narrow streets of Rome, still damp with the remnants of dew, seemed to absorb each sound and release it slowly, as though time itself were stretching to accommodate the city's morning pace. Birds perched atop rooftops watched the procession, their gentle chirping merging with the distant trickle of water from small fountains. Dust motes floated in the sunbeams, drifting lazily across the edges of the streets, moving in tune with the measured pace of the walkers. As the senators progressed, the city revealed small details in hypnotic succession: a small garden with herbs glowing in the soft light, a cat slinking silently through the shade of a doorway, children peeking from their windows with quiet curiosity. The soft, rhythmic clatter of distant carts blended seamlessly with the sound of deliberate footsteps, creating a lullaby of ordinary, peaceful life. When the Forum came into view, it was bathed in gentle morning light. Marble statues glimmered softly, their surfaces warm and muted in the early sun. The fountain's water sparkled faintly, dripping slowly into basins, adding a faint, calming hum to the ambient soundscape. Every detail, from the engraved stones beneath their feet to the quiet rustle of leaves in nearby trees, contributed to the hypnotic cadence of the march. The walk itself became a meditation. Each step, each breath, each sound of fabric or stone, reinforced the slow, serene pulse of the city. Time seemed to stretch, bending around the gentle rhythm of human and urban motion. The senators, their attendants, and the quiet streets moved together, creating a perfect balance of sound and silence, motion and stillness, as Rome itself slowly, deliberately, unfurled into the day. The senators finally arrived at the Forum, their footsteps soft and deliberate, echoing faintly against the marble pavements. The grand columns cast long, gentle shadows across the smooth stones, the sunlight spilling in quiet patches between them, warming the edges of statues and fountains in a muted glow. Every surface, from the polished steps to the carved reliefs, seemed to participate in the serene, slow rhythm of the morning. As they moved beneath the towering pillars, their voices remained hushed, almost reverent. Conversations were whispered, the syllables stretched and softened, blending with the soft rustle of robes and the faint tapping of sandals against stone. The words themselves seemed to float in the still air, lingering just long enough to be heard, then fading into silence as if time itself were bending to the measured pace of discourse. Attendants shifted scrolls and documents from one hand to another, their movements precise and unhurried. A gentle breeze played through the Forum, swaying the leaves of nearby trees and carrying the faint scent of baked bread from distant streets. Birds perched on ledges, observing silently, adding a delicate layer of natural rhythm to the city's human cadence. The fountains in the Forum murmured softly, water spilling over the stone edges in a constant, hypnotic trickle. Statues of past leaders, their features carved with meticulous care, reflected the sun's warmth, casting faint, moving shadows that seemed to watch the proceedings with patient attention. Even the distant sounds of carts and merchants were muted, absorbed into the larger symphony of soft, slow motion. Every gesture, the unrolling of a scroll, the adjusting of a toga, the careful leaning to confer with a neighbor, was part of a deliberate, almost ritualistic dance. Nothing was rushed, nothing urgent, each action reinforced the hypnotic calm that flowed through the marble halls, the sunlit stones, and the quiet, attentive citizens. In the Forum, Rome's heartbeat was steady and gentle. Hushed words, muted movements, and soft environmental sounds wove together in perfect harmony. It was a place suspended in time, where the weight of authority and tradition moved not with force, but with calm, deliberate patience. And in that slow, measured morning, every senator, attendant, and observer became part of the serene, soothing pulse of the ancient city. The Forum settled into a quiet rhythm as the senators continued their measured movements. Every step, every soft word, and every subtle gesture seemed to stretch time, allowing the city itself to breathe in perfect alignment with its citizens. The marble pavements reflected the gentle morning light, warming slowly under the sun, while shadows shifted imperceptibly across statues and columns, marking the passage of hours in the softest possible way. From the upper terraces, the city watched silently. Courtyards and alleyways, once empty, now held the slow motions of early risers, children stretching in doorways, cats weaving carefully along sun-warmed stones, and dogs rising and settling again with languid comfort. Even the distant clatter of carts and the faint murmur of water along aqueducts seemed tamed by the deliberate calm of the morning, each sound stretching and fading like gentle echoes in a vast hall. The senators moved with quiet deliberation, adjusting scrolls, leaning slightly to converse, and shifting robes with soft rustles. Each sound blended seamlessly into the ambient chorus, the trickle of fountains, the whisper of leaves in the breeze, the faint, rhythmic tap of sandals. Time itself seemed suspended in this delicate balance, allowing Rome to exist fully in the hypnotic pulse of morning life. Shadows and sunlight interplayed across the forum, revealing intricate carvings and worn steps with slow, mesmerizing clarity. The city's heartbeat was subtle yet constant, the soft shuffle of feet, the muted creak of leather straps, the delicate clinking of tools or coins, all merging into a soothing, continuous cadence. Citizens paused to observe, to listen, or simply to move slowly in harmony with the surrounding rhythm. Even the air seemed to hold a quiet patience. Dust motes floated in golden beams, drifting lazily across the stone floors and terraces. The scent of baked bread from nearby bakeries mingled with the earthy warmth of marble and sun-heated stone, forming a gentle perfume that spoke of both daily routine and timeless serenity. In this slow, deliberate moment, the city and its people were one. The Forum was not merely a place of politics or commerce, it was a stage for measured movement, calm observation, and hypnotic rhythm. Every senator, every attendant, every passerby became part of a tranquil symphony, where even the smallest action contributed to the soothing heartbeat of ancient Rome. And as the morning continued, the city seemed to watch itself awake, patient and unhurried, a living organism breathing in gentle, eternal cadence. Rome, in these hours, existed not as a bustling metropolis, but as a calm, meditative world, inviting anyone who wandered its streets to pause, breathe, and sink slowly into the hypnotic rhythm of life. In quiet corners of Rome, sunlight spilled across small courtyards, warming stone steps and earthen floors. Here, children began to stir, stretching limbs in slow, unhurried motions, yawning as the day's light spilled into their eyes. Their laughter, soft and fleeting, drifted gently through the alleys and across terraces, mixing with the distant murmur of water from fountains and the steady hum of early city life. Tiny feet padded lightly over worn stones, pausing to examine fallen leaves, pebbles, or the small insects that moved lazily in the sun. Each step, each movement, carried the deliberate curiosity of youth, slow and methodical, as if the day itself had asked them to savor every moment. Shadows of walls and columns created cool patches where the children rested briefly, blinking in the golden light before moving again, their motions blending seamlessly with the rhythm of the waking city. Some children played quietly with small wooden toys, spinning them carefully across sunlit courtyards, the soft clatter blending with the ambient hum of the streets. Others tossed pebbles gently, listening to the subtle tap against stone, the sound absorbed into the calm pulse of the morning. Occasionally, a cat would weave between their legs, or a dog would stretch in a patch of sunlight, the animal's slow, deliberate movements adding to the gentle cadence of play. Even the children's laughter seemed measured, never sharp or abrupt, but a soft, melodic accompaniment to the warm, golden light. Their voices floated through the alleyways in fleeting whispers, fading gradually into the ambient sounds of Rome's morning. The gentle rustle of fabrics, the soft shuffle of bare or sandal-clad feet, and the faint clinking of small toys created a hypnotic, soothing pattern of motion and sound. From above, the city observed silently. Terraces and rooftops reflected the sunlight in quiet glimmers, while the narrow streets remained calm, each footfall and sound absorbed into the measured heartbeat of Rome. In these small courtyards, life moved slowly, intentionally, allowing both children and observer to sink into the rhythm of a morning that stretched without urgency. Here, in the warm light and soft sounds, play became more than amusement, it became a meditation. Each toss of a pebble, each gentle spin of a toy, each stretch or yawn was part of a larger, hypnotic rhythm, a lullaby sung not in words, but in slow, deliberate motion. The city, the children, and even the sunlight moved together, in perfect, unhurried harmony, a tranquil world inviting anyone who watched to pause, breathe, and drift gently into the calm of the Roman morning. The children moved slowly through sunlit streets and narrow alleys, their small feet padding softly over worn cobblestones. Each step was careful and deliberate, as if the rhythm of the city had gently whispered for patience. They chased the shifting shadows cast by columns, walls, and trees, following the soft movements of light as it traveled across stone and terracotta in the slow, steady climb of the sun. A small group ran through a quiet courtyard, laughing softly, their voices gentle and fading like echoes in a vast, calm hall. Their shadows stretched long behind them, twisting and bending as they ran, disappearing and reappearing across walls and steps. Pebbles kicked lightly along their path made faint clinking sounds that merged seamlessly with the subtle rustle of leaves in the breeze, creating a hypnotic, almost musical accompaniment to their unhurried play. Some children paused to examine the world around them, crouching to watch insects crawl along sun-warmed stones or reaching out to feel the rough texture of wall plaster. Every touch, every glance, every subtle gesture was slow and deliberate, a careful observation of life unfolding in quiet motion. Even a fluttering bird overhead seemed to move in the same languid rhythm, its wings tracing soft arcs through the golden air. The sun, climbing steadily, warmed the children's faces and hair, turning the city's stone and tile into soft patches of light and heat. Courtyards became theaters of gentle activity. One child rolled a small hoop along the ground, following its slow spin with quiet fascination, while another tossed a pebble into a shallow fountain, listening to the delicate ripple it made as it touched the water. Each sound and motion stretched time, allowing both children and observer to feel the calm, unhurried pulse of morning life. Even the animals joined in this tranquil dance. Cats slinked lazily along sun-drenched walls, dogs yawned and stretched, and birds hopped gently among the rooftops and balconies. Their movements blended perfectly with the children's slow exploration, reinforcing the hypnotic cadence of the day. Rome itself seemed to breathe in synchrony with the play. The cobblestones, walls, and rooftops reflected sunlight softly, shadows shifting imperceptibly. Every sound, the soft tap of feet, the whisper of laughter, the faint clatter of pebbles, the rustle of leaves, was absorbed into a quiet, continuous symphony. The city, the children, and the sunlight moved together in harmony, a gentle, unhurried world that invited anyone who observed to pause, breathe, and drift into the serene rhythm of morning. The children wandered slowly into the narrow, winding alleys of Rome, their footsteps soft and careful on the cool cobblestones. Each alley held its own quiet charm, sun-dappled walls, creeping vines, and patches of shadow that offered tiny spaces for exploration. Their laughter was gentle, almost a whisper, floating along the streets in irregular, fleeting bursts before fading into the calm ambience of the morning. A small group played near a fountain tucked into a side courtyard. They tossed tiny pebbles into the water, watching as ripples spread slowly across the surface. The water's gentle splash merged with the distant trickle of the aqueduct, the soft shuffle of sandals, and the faint rustle of leaves in a delicate symphony. Each sound was slow and deliberate, weaving into the hypnotic rhythm of the waking city. Sunlight streamed between buildings, forming bands of warmth along the alley floors. Children stretched and reached, their small fingers brushing the golden light, chasing its slow movement across stone. A stray cat weaved among their legs, tail curling lazily as it observed the unfolding play. Birds hopped on the ledges above, their quiet chirps punctuating the soft laughter of the children. Some paused to explore hidden corners, crouching to examine insects crawling along walls or inspecting the textured surfaces of worn stones. Every small gesture, every soft sound, contributed to the city's gentle, unhurried pulse. Even their playful squeals were measured, ebbing and flowing with the tranquil cadence of the streets, never sharp, never abrupt, always fading softly into silence. The city itself seemed to lean in, observing the children with calm patience. Courtyards glimmered in patches of sunlight, shadows stretched lazily across steps, and the warm scent of bread from nearby bakeries mingled subtly with the earthy aroma of the stone and dust. Each alleyway became a stage for slow motion, a quiet theater where every movement, sound, and glance was absorbed into the hypnotic morning rhythm. Rome, in these hours, was alive yet serene, a city that moved not with urgency but with deliberate, peaceful cadence. The children's laughter, soft and fleeting, traced invisible paths through the alleys, winding along walls and under arches, blending perfectly with the gentle pulse of life. Here, in the warmth of sun and stone, the soft shuffle of feet, the quiet murmur of water, and the gentle play of youth all merged into a single, soothing lullaby of motion, sound, and light. As the morning deepened, sunlight stretched fully across Rome, spilling into alleys, courtyards, and terraces with a gentle, golden glow. The children began to slow their movements, pausing in quiet corners to rest, their breaths deep and measured. Laughter, once bright and fleeting, now softened into small, fading echoes, blending seamlessly with the calm, ambient sounds of the city. Some children sat on sun-warmed stones, spinning pebbles slowly between their fingers or tracing patterns in the dust. Others leaned against walls, watching shadows drift lazily across the cobblestones, fascinated by the slow journey of light and shade. Every motion, every glance, every quiet laugh was part of a soft, hypnotic rhythm that stretched the morning into endless calm. Even the alleys themselves seemed to sigh in contentment. Sunlight traced the uneven surfaces of stone, terracotta rooftops glowed warmly, and the faint rustle of leaves whispered gently in the breeze. Birds hopped slowly from ledge to ledge, their movements unhurried, their chirps subdued, echoing the city's serene pulse. Cats and dogs stretched and yawned in warm patches of light, perfectly synchronized with the children's slow play. The soft aroma of fresh bread drifted from nearby bakeries, mingling with the earthy scent of sun-heated stone and faint traces of morning dew. These subtle fragrances wound through the alleyways, curling gently around the children as they moved, pausing, and finally preparing to part ways. Their soft footsteps, the delicate shuffle of sandals, and the occasional murmur of small voices created a lullaby-like cadence that carried through the streets. Slowly, the children waved gentle goodbyes to one another, each gesture measured, deliberate, and unhurried. They drifted toward homes, courtyards, or shaded corners, their movements blending seamlessly with the calm rhythm of the city. Even as they departed, their presence lingered like a soft echo in the sunlit streets, a reminder of the gentle heartbeat of Rome in the morning. In the golden warmth of midday, the city settled into a tranquil pause. The children's laughter had faded, but the soft, hypnotic pulse of life remained, the shimmer of sunlight on stone, the subtle rustle of leaves, the distant trickle of fountains, and the quiet, unhurried motions of citizens moving gently through their routines. Rome, alive yet serene, existed in perfect balance, a timeless world where every sight, sound, and movement contributed to a calm, soothing, hypnotic rhythm. Light spilled in through open windows, touching the surfaces of worn wooden benches, stone blocks, and clay pots. Each craftsman moved deliberately, handling tools with careful precision, the faint scrape of metal against stone or wood merging seamlessly with the soft hum of the city beyond. A stonemason tapped his chisel slowly against a block of marble, each strike deliberate, echoing faintly against the walls of the workshop. Dust floated lazily in the shafts of sunlight, catching the tiny vibrations of each careful blow. The rhythm was steady, meditative, hypnotic, the slow unfolding of form from raw material, a quiet ritual repeated countless times across the city. Nearby, a potter turned a wheel with slow, circular motions, guiding soft clay with gentle hands. The wheel spun steadily, turning with a muted, rhythmic hum, while the soft pressure of fingers shaped the vessel in gradual, mesmerizing arcs. Even the faint splash of water used to keep the clay pliable blended seamlessly with the subtle sounds of chisels, hammers, and the distant murmur of the forum. Apprentices moved quietly, carrying small tools, soft piles of clay, or unfinished pieces from one station to another. Their movements were careful, measured, each step in tune with the overarching rhythm of the workshop. Brushes, scrapers, and mallets all contributed to the hypnotic chorus of creation, each sound deliberate, unhurried, and strangely comforting in its persistence. Outside, the city continued its slow, deliberate morning. Sunlight warmed cobblestones and terracotta roofs, and a soft breeze carried the mingling scents of earth, clay, and warm stone. Birds hopped along ledges, and cats stretched lazily in the sun, blending effortlessly into the measured cadence of human activity. The artisans' quiet labor, the gentle motion of their tools, and the ambient hum of Rome's streets created a lullaby of ordinary life, soft, unbroken, and hypnotically serene. Time seemed to expand within the workshops, marked not by urgency or noise, but by the slow progress of hammer against stone, will against clay, and hand against material. Each piece, each movement, each faint sound reinforced the city's quiet heartbeat, a gentle rhythm that invited all who observed to slow their breathing, ease their thoughts, and sink softly into the calm, measured flow of Roman life. In a small workshop bathed in soft morning light, the potter's wheel turned slowly, steadily, its muted hum blending with the distant rhythm of the city. The potter's hands moved with deliberate care, pressing, shaping, and coaxing the soft, wet clay into gentle curves. Each rotation of the wheel revealed subtle changes in form, the vessel slowly taking shape under patient, measured guidance. Water dripped faintly from a small vessel nearby, joining the soft, rhythmic swirl of the wheel. The potter paused occasionally, brushing excess clay from his fingers or wiping the sweat from his brow, each gesture slow and deliberate, contributing to the tranquil cadence of the morning. The wheel spun on, turning in hypnotic circles, while dust motes drifted lazily in the sunbeams, suspended like tiny, golden dancers. Apprentices moved softly around the room, carrying small lumps of clay or wooden tools, their footsteps cushioned against the stone floor. They adjusted the clay gently on the wheel, helping the potter maintain a steady, even motion. The soft scrape of tools against the wet surface, the faint splash of water, and the gentle murmur of conversation merged into a quiet symphony of craft, soothing and unhurried. Beyond the workshop, the streets of Rome continued to wake with measured calm. Sunlight glimmered along rooftops, rustling leaves moved slowly in the breeze, and the faint sounds of distant footsteps and flowing water punctuated the soft hum of the city. Every detail of life outside, stone walls warmed by the sun, small gardens breathing out their scents, laundry swaying gently between buildings, added to the hypnotic rhythm of the morning. The potter's vessels grew gradually under careful hands. Each curve, each subtle indentation, each smooth surface was the product of time, patience, and quiet attention. The slow, steady spin of the wheel mirrored the deliberate pace of life in the city, a reminder that creation itself could be a meditation, a lullaby of motion and thought. As the morning deepened, the soft, repetitive movements continued, wheels spinning, hands shaping, water dripping, dust motes floating. Time stretched and bent, measured not in hours or urgency, but in the quiet, unhurried progress of clay taking form. Rome, in these workshops and streets, moved gently with each turn of the wheel, each gentle touch, each deliberate sound, carrying all who watched into the soothing, hypnotic pulse of the day. In a quiet corner of Rome, sunlight filtered through latticed windows, casting soft, patterned shadows across the wooden looms of the weavers. Threads, fine and delicate, stretched taut, catching the light in faint glimmers as hands moved slowly and deliberately, guiding each strand into place. The rhythmic shuttle of the loom moved steadily, a soft, soothing whisper that blended perfectly with the ambient hum of the city beyond. The weaver's fingers traced patterns with patience, pulling, looping, and weaving with careful attention. Every movement was deliberate, each twist of thread contributing to the emerging fabric. Occasionally, a hand paused to adjust tension, brush stray fibers, or smooth a section of the cloth, each gesture slow, meditative, and hypnotic in its repetition. Soft creaks of wooden beams, the gentle clatter of tools, and the muted thump of spools being set aside added subtle notes to the workshop's quiet symphony. Dust motes floated in the sunlight, drifting lazily over threads and floors, their movement imperceptible yet mesmerizing, as if suspended in time itself. The room breathed with the calm energy of creation, each motion echoing the steady rhythm of life outside. Beyond the walls, the streets of Rome continued their measured awakening. Sunlight glimmered across terracotta rooftops, fountains whispered their steady song, and the faint shuffle of sandals along cobblestones formed a distant, slow percussion. The soft scent of woven fibers mingled with the earthy warmth of stone, carrying the subtle perfume of labor and patience into the alleys and courtyards. Apprentices moved softly, tending to threads, spools, and looms with quiet care. They matched the rhythm of the master weavers, their motions deliberate and unhurried, contributing to a hypnotic, continuous pattern of creation. Even the occasional sigh of a worker or the soft rustle of robes seemed part of the tranquil symphony, echoing the slow heartbeat of the morning. Time, within these workshops, seemed suspended. The steady motion of shuttle and fingers, the gradual formation of intricate patterns, and the calm ambient sounds created a lullaby of labor. Every thread woven, every subtle adjustment, every soft sound reinforced the gentle pulse of Rome itself, a city that moved in unhurried harmony, where artisans, streets, and sunlight all flowed together in a serene, hypnotic cadence. By late morning, the workshops of Rome began to quiet. The steady rhythm of hammers, shuttles, and spinning wheels slowed, each artisan pausing to observe the progress of their labor. Marble blocks stood transformed into smooth forms, pots rested on shelves with gentle curves, and textiles hung in neat folds, their patterns complete under careful hands. The artisans moved deliberately, one final adjustment here, a gentle sweep of dust there, before stepping back to allow the soft light of the sun to fall across their creations. Each motion was slow, considered, a quiet acknowledgement of work completed and the day unfolding. The air carried the subtle scent of clay, wood, and woven fibers, mingling with the warmth of stone and the distant fragrance of baked bread from nearby bakeries. Apprentices tidied their tools, stacking spools, arranging brushes, and setting aside hammers and chisels with soft clinks that faded into the ambient hum of the city. Their movements were gentle and precise, echoing the careful rhythm that had filled the workshops for hours. Outside, the streets of Rome pulsed slowly with the morning's lingering life, sandals on stone, soft laughter from courtyards, the trickle of fountains, and birds hopping lazily along sun-warmed walls. Even the shadows of the buildings seemed to stretch and settle in harmony with the artisans' motions. Sunlight warmed surfaces in slow arcs, revealing textures and patterns created over patient hours of work. Dust motes drifted in golden beams, moving lazily in currents of air, their soft, slow dance mirroring the day's final, measured cadence. The city absorbed the quiet conclusion of the morning's labor. Marble, clay, and thread stood as silent testament to careful, deliberate effort. Every corner of Rome seemed attuned to the same tranquil rhythm, a pulse defined not by urgency or haste, but by patience, continuity, and gentle presence. The workshops and streets merged into a single, harmonious flow, where the fading motion of human hands became part of the hypnotic heartbeat of the city. As the sun climbed higher, the artisans paused, their hands resting lightly on their tools. The morning's work, complete and settled, left a calm imprint on the city. Rome, alive yet serene, continued its measured pace, inviting all who observed to breathe deeply, sink gently into the rhythm of life, and be carried softly along the hypnotic, unhurried pulse of an ancient Roman morning. As morning stretched into mid-morning, the Roman marketplace began to stir with quiet energy. Merchants opened wooden shutters slowly, lifting them with gentle effort, letting sunlight spill across empty stalls. The scent of freshly baked bread, ripened fruit, and earthy grains mingled in the warm air, carrying faint whispers of anticipation without urgency. Crates of produce were arranged with care, piles of figs, olives, and plump grapes aligned neatly in baskets, their colors softened in the morning glow. Each motion of the merchants, lifting, placing, adjusting, was deliberate, a slow choreography that transformed the empty marketplace into a calm, orderly display of goods. The faint clatter of wooden boxes on stone floors echoed softly, fading immediately into the ambient murmur of the awakening city. A soft breeze wandered through the streets, moving paper, leaves, and small wafts of fragrant herbs. Children peeked into stalls with curious eyes, their footsteps slow, barely disturbing the quiet, as cats slinked along shaded walls, observing with patient curiosity. Every sound, from the subtle scrape of a basket being shifted to the gentle rustle of fabric covering goods, contributed to the hypnotic rhythm of the market's awakening. Even the merchants' voices were subdued, low murmurs exchanged as greetings and agreements were made. Conversations floated like a soft mist over the cobblestones, words drawn out in measured tones, blending with the ambient cadence of movement. Coins clinked softly when handled, their brief sound absorbed immediately into the surrounding calm. The market, though beginning to fill with life, moved at a pace measured not by haste but by patient observation and deliberate motion. Each vendor, each customer, each gentle shuffle of foot or sway of arm became part of a larger, serene symphony. Time seemed to stretch, measured by the slow arrangement of goods, the soft exchange of words, and the quiet circulation of early commerce under the warm Roman sun. In this gentle, sunlit world, the city's heartbeat was steady and soothing. The marketplace was alive, yet serene, vibrant, yet meditative. Every small action, every sound, and every breath of air merged into a hypnotic rhythm, allowing the bustling heart of Rome to beat slowly, calmly, and softly, inviting anyone who wandered there to sink gently into the peaceful cadence of an ancient morning. By mid-morning, the marketplace had grown gently busier, yet its pace remained calm and measured. Merchants moved slowly between their stalls, arranging produce and goods with deliberate care. The soft brush of cloth over baskets, the faint tap of coins against wooden counters, and the quiet shift of crates created a subtle rhythm that wove seamlessly into the ambient sounds of the city. Citizens approached the stalls with soft, measured steps, their eyes scanning the neatly arranged offerings of olives, figs, grains, and fresh bread. Hands reached slowly, selecting items with quiet attention, fingers brushing over smooth surfaces, textures, and gentle curves. Each exchange, word, gesture, or coin passing from one hand to another, was drawn out, unhurried, and absorbed into the hypnotic pulse of the morning. A baker at a nearby stall set out additional loaves, their crusts golden and warm, sending faint waves of fragrance curling into the streets. Customers paused, inhaling the scent slowly, savoring the small pleasure without rush. The soft scrape of wooden boards, the gentle tapping of sandals on stone, and the distant trickle of fountains blended with these actions, creating a continuous, soothing symphony of daily commerce. Children wandered quietly through the alleys of the market, peeking at fruit, baskets, and small toys with slow, deliberate curiosity. Cats slinked between legs and crates, tails curling and uncurling lazily. Birds hopped along sunlit ledges, chirping softly, adding delicate, intermittent notes to the hypnotic cadence of sound. Even the sunlight seemed to move in rhythm, stretching across stone floors, illuminating goods, and casting long, lazy shadows across the busy but measured scene. Conversations were murmurs, soft and extended. Greetings, brief negotiations, and simple comments floated lightly in the air, never loud, never abrupt, each word a small, fleeting wave in the calm current of the marketplace. Coins jangled faintly when handled, their brief sound blending into the general, unhurried movement of commerce. Time seemed to slow in the marketplace, measured not by clocks or urgency, but by deliberate motion and gentle observation. Every step, every glance, every sound became part of a hypnotic cadence, a quiet lullaby of ordinary life. The merchants, citizens, and children moved together in harmony with the city itself, each small action reinforcing the tranquil rhythm of Rome in the morning. By the time the sun had climbed higher, the market existed in perfect balance, alive with gentle activity, yet calm, deliberate, and serene. The soft rhythm of trade carried a hypnotic pulse through the cobbled streets, a soothing heartbeat of daily life, inviting all who wandered there to pause, breathe, and sink slowly into the quiet, meditative flow of the Roman morning. The marketplace settled into a tranquil rhythm, each stall and alleyway alive with quiet, measured motions. Merchants carefully arranged their wares, shifting baskets of olives, grains, and ripe figs with slow, deliberate gestures. The gentle thump of wooden containers settling on stone floors and the soft rustle of cloth coverings blended with the faint, ongoing murmur of Rome's awakening city. A baker set out fresh loaves on a small table, their golden crusts warm to the touch. Customers approached with quiet steps, reaching slowly to select each loaf, feeling its weight and texture in careful hands. The subtle scent of baking bread mingled with the earthy aroma of stone streets and sun-warmed walls, forming a gentle perfume that lingered softly in the air. Coins changed hands with soft, deliberate clinks, each transaction extended in quiet, attentive motion. Words were murmured rather than spoken aloud, greetings and acknowledgments flowing gently between vendor and buyer. The sound of laughter, faint and fleeting, wove through the market like a delicate thread, disappearing almost as soon as it appeared, absorbed into the serene cadence of daily trade. Apprentices carried small loads of fresh goods, moving slowly across the cobblestones, their motions careful and balanced. They adjusted baskets, wiped surfaces, and brushed stray leaves from produce with quiet precision. Every movement, from the bending of a knee to the tilt of a hand, reinforced the hypnotic pulse of the marketplace, a rhythm both ordinary and extraordinary in its patient repetition. Children wandered softly among the stalls, observing with gentle curiosity. They watched coins pass from hand to hand, bread change ownership, and baskets shift with tender care. Cats slinked lazily along stone edges, occasionally brushing against legs, while birds hopped lightly along ledges, chirping in soft, intermittent notes that accentuated the calm of the morning. The sun climbed higher, spilling warm light across the stone floors, illuminating baskets of fruit, jars of honey, and rows of pottery. Shadows moved slowly, stretching and retreating across walls and counters, marking time in gentle, imperceptible arcs. Each moment of exchange, each touch, each faint sound contributed to the hypnotic tapestry of the market, a living meditation of ordinary life unfolding without rush or urgency. By the time mid-morning approached, the marketplace existed in perfect harmony, bustling subtly yet utterly serene, each movement deliberate, each sound a soft note in the symphony of Roman life. The soft rhythm of trade, the gentle placement of baskets, the measured passing of bread, the quiet exchange of coins, created a lullaby of ordinary motions. Anyone wandering these streets could sink into the calm, breathing in the unhurried heartbeat of the ancient city. As the morning wore on, the Roman marketplace began to settle into a gentle quiet. Merchants moved with slower, more deliberate steps, adjusting the last baskets of olives, figs, and bread. Stalls, once crowded with curious hands and soft chatter, now held only a few lingering customers, their motions measured, almost meditative. The sun had climbed higher, casting long, shifting shadows across the cobblestones. Light shimmered on the edges of terracotta pots, wooden crates, and woven baskets, illuminating textures in a soft, golden glow. Every surface, the worn stones underfoot, the sun-warmed walls, the polished wood of counters, seemed to join the city's quiet, hypnotic rhythm. Coins were handled softly, their clinks delicate and restrained, echoing faintly before fading into the ambient calm. Words, when exchanged, were murmurs drawn out in patient tones, each syllable lingering in the warm air before disappearing. The occasional ripple of laughter or murmur of conversation seemed to stretch, slow, and soften, like clouds drifting lazily across the sun. Children wandered briefly through the edges of the market, picking up small items or tracing the path of sunlight along the stones. Their movements were gentle, unhurried, each step in tune with the city's calm pulse. Cats and dogs stretched in sunlit corners, curling into shadows as they observed the gradual slowing of human motion. Birds hopped softly along ledges, their faint chirps accentuating the gentle cadence rather than disrupting it. Merchants began to tidy their stalls, stacking empty baskets, folding cloth coverings, and arranging goods that remained. Each motion was deliberate and slow, a continuation of the careful rhythm that had carried the market through the morning. Even the soft breeze seemed to move in time with these motions, rustling leaves and carrying the faint scent of fresh bread, honey, and ripening fruit in gentle swirls through the streets. The marketplace, now calm and serene, exhaled the soft remnants of morning activity. The city absorbed the quiet pause between bustling hours, the cobblestones, walls, and rooftops holding the memory of every deliberate movement and whispered word. Time seemed to bend and stretch, measured not in haste, but in the soft, hypnotic cadence of ordinary life unfolding in gentle succession. As merchants lowered shutters and carried the last of their wares, the city continued its steady, unhurried heartbeat. The marketplace, alive yet calm, existed as a living lullaby, a symphony of slow gestures, soft sounds, and golden sunlight, inviting all who wandered its streets to breathe, relax, and sink gently into the serene, hypnotic rhythm of ancient Rome. As the morning melted into afternoon, the streets of Rome softened under the steady warmth of the sun. Cobblestones glowed gently, their uneven surfaces warming slowly beneath the light. Shadows, once long and stark, now shortened and shifted, curling lazily around doorways, fountains, and the bases of marble columns. The city seemed to exhale, settling into a calm rhythm that invited slow, deliberate movement. Citizens wandered through sun-dappled streets with measured steps, some pausing briefly to watch a bird hop across a ledge or to admire the intricate patterns of sunlight on stone. The soft murmur of conversation floated lightly in the warm air, extended and hushed, blending with the faint shuffle of sandals on stone and the occasional distant clatter of a cart. Every motion, every sound, contributed to a hypnotic cadence that filled the city. Courtyards offered quiet spaces for reflection. Gentle breezes stirred the leaves of olive trees, producing a delicate rustle that harmonized with the faint trickle of fountains and the subtle hum of everyday life. Children, having returned from the market, wandered slowly along shaded paths, their movements calm, their laughter softened to gentle giggles that drifted away before fading entirely. Artisans moved with ease through their workshops, doors open to the sunlit streets. The soft tap of hammer on stone, the faint scrape of brush against clay, and the slow spin of potter's wheels carried beyond the walls, blending seamlessly with the ambient sounds of the city. Even animals, cats stretching in sunbeams, dogs lounging in doorways, moved with the same unhurried precision, participating in the gentle pulse of life. Shadows of statues and columns shifted imperceptibly, painting the streets in slow arcs of light and dark. Dust motes drifted lazily in the warm air, catching the sunlight and floating like tiny golden stars suspended in space. Every step, glance, and gesture became part of a soothing, continuous flow, where time was measured not by urgency, but by the deliberate, patient rhythm of ordinary life. Rome, in this sunlit afternoon, existed as a city both awake and dreamlike. Every street, alley, and courtyard was infused with calm motion, soft sounds, and the warm embrace of sunlight. Those who walked slowly through its paths could feel themselves carried gently along the hypnotic pulse of the day, their breath and mind syncing with the serene, unhurried heartbeat of ancient Rome. As afternoon deepened, the streets of Rome stretched and yawned beneath the sun's steady warmth. Shadows lengthened gradually along cobblestones, wrapping around doorways, arches, and fountain bases in slow, languid arcs. The city itself seemed to breathe softly, each building, column, and stone exhaling the gentle heat and quiet of the day. Citizens moved with calm deliberation, walking through shaded alleys or along sunlit streets at a measured pace. Sandals scraped lightly on stone, echoing faintly and fading immediately into the soft hum of the city. Conversations were hushed and extended, words spoken as if in slow motion, drifting gently through the warm air before dissipating entirely. Every motion and sound blended seamlessly into a hypnotic rhythm, the pulse of Rome slowed yet steady. Courtyards invited moments of pause. Small fountains trickled lazily, the water rippling in soft, circular motions. Olive trees swayed slightly in the warm breeze, their leaves whispering faintly as they caught the light. Children played slowly in these spaces, tossing pebbles into shallow pools or chasing the gentle shadows cast by columns, their movements deliberate and unhurried. Their laughter was soft, like wind through leaves, rising and fading in delicate cadence with the city around them. Artisans continued their quiet labors. The potter's wheel spun slowly, brushes swept gently over clay, and chisels tapped softly against stone, each sound precise and measured. From open workshops, these motions blended with distant murmurs, creating a tapestry of subtle sound that flowed through the streets. Even animals moved in rhythm with the day, cats stretched languidly on sun-warmed ledges, dogs yawned and rolled into shadows, birds hopped lightly from roof to roof, everything contributing to the city's calm heartbeat. Sunlight, soft yet persistent, drifted along rooftops and walls, illuminating textures and colors in gentle waves. Dust motes floated through these beams, catching the light and drifting like tiny, golden sparks. Every movement, of a leaf, a footstep, a hand adjusting a basket, merged with the shadow's slow dance, creating a meditative cadence that stretched time into something pliant and unhurried. Rome, in this deepening afternoon, existed as a city suspended between wakefulness and repose. The streets whispered in the language of light and shadow, motion and stillness, carrying anyone who wandered through them into the hypnotic flow of everyday life. Each step, glance, and gentle breath harmonized with the city's serene pulse, allowing the mind to drift, to slow, and to sink softly into the warm, unhurried rhythm of an ancient Roman afternoon. As the afternoon sun climbed higher, the streets of Rome remained bathed in a soft, golden glow. Citizens wandered at a measured pace, their movements deliberate, their steps light upon the cobblestones. The rhythm of the city slowed further, punctuated by gentle gestures and the occasional whisper of conversation. Every glance, every nod, every small motion contributed to the tranquil pulse of life. Neighbors met along shaded alleys and quiet courtyards, exchanging soft greetings with hands extended slowly, voices hushed. "Salve," one would murmur, a faint ripple in the calm, and another would respond in kind, their words stretched and gentle, drifting in the warm air before fading entirely. Even the simplest gestures, a tilt of the head, a soft smile, the careful adjustment of a sandal strap, felt elongated, deliberate, and soothing in their repetition. Merchants paused from arranging goods, offering brief, quiet acknowledgments to passers-by. Coins changed hands with subtle clinks, absorbed almost instantly into the rhythm of the streets. Wooden carts creaked slowly as they rolled over cobblestones, moving at a pace that allowed observers to notice the gentle sway of fruit baskets and the measured movement of hands guiding the wheel. Children wandered in the spaces between buildings, following the movement of birds or the shifting shadows of columns. Their footsteps were soft, their movements carefully synchronized with the slow cadence of the city. Laughter rose occasionally, delicate and fleeting, vanishing almost as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind only a sense of quiet companionship. Cats stretched in sun-drenched doorways, eyes half closed, while dogs lay lazily in shaded corners, tails flicking in a slow, rhythmic pattern. Birds hopped along ledges and rooftops, their movements subdued and deliberate. Even the breeze seemed to participate, moving gently through streets and courtyards, rustling leaves and carrying the faint scent of bread, olive oil, and warm stone. Time in these streets became a soft, pliant thing. Moments unfolded slowly, measured not by urgency but by intention and observation. Every step, every nod, every soft word contributed to a hypnotic flow, a quiet lullaby of ordinary life. Rome, in these slow encounters and gentle greetings, revealed itself as a city in perfect harmony with itself, where every citizen, every motion, and every sound invited those who wandered. Its streets to breathe, relax, and sink softly into the unhurried rhythm of an ancient Roman afternoon. As the afternoon waned, sunlight softened to a gentle, golden hue, drifting lazily across rooftops, walls, and cobblestones. The streets of Rome seemed to stretch, the shadows lengthening and curling slowly, marking time in delicate, imperceptible arcs. The city exhaled, its heartbeat measured and calm, inviting every passerby to move slowly, observe quietly, and breathe deeply. Citizens walked with subdued steps, their movements deliberate and unhurried. Some paused beneath the shade of columns, gazing at the warm patterns of sunlight on stone. Others strolled through alleys, their eyes following the slow dance of shadows and light, their hands brushing gently against walls or rails. The faint shuffle of sandals, the quiet tap of carts on cobbles, and the soft murmur of conversation blended seamlessly into the city's hypnotic rhythm. Children lingered in sun-drenched courtyards, chasing elongated shadows or rolling small pebbles along the worn stones. Their laughter was soft, fleeting, and measured, disappearing into the warm afternoon like wind over gentle waves. Birds hopped quietly along ledges, tails flicking, wings tucked, moving slowly in perfect harmony with the city's calm pulse. Merchants began to fold cloth coverings over their stalls, stack remaining goods, and adjust baskets in preparation for the evening. Each motion was precise, slow, and meditative. The faint clink of coins, the soft rustle of fabric, and the careful placement of items created a subtle symphony that drifted through the streets, harmonizing with the ambient sounds of the city. Even the sunlight seemed to participate in the slow descent of the day. Rays shifted gently across terracotta tiles, walls, and fountains, illuminating textures with a soft glow. Dust motes floated in the golden light, drifting like tiny, suspended stars, their slow motion a mirror of the city's unhurried rhythm. Rome, in the fading light, became a place of quiet reflection. Courtyards, streets, and alleys held the soft memory of hours past, the gentle imprint of measured footsteps, deliberate gestures, and whispered words. The city's heartbeat slowed further, a continuous, soothing cadence that carried through stone and tile, air and light. As twilight approached, the city and its citizens moved in harmony with the descending sun. Every shadow, every gesture, every faint sound merged into a hypnotic lullaby of ordinary life. Those who wandered these streets could feel the rhythm of Rome, the slow, deliberate heartbeat of an ancient city, drawing them gently into calm, quiet repose, ready for the soft, enveloping hush of evening. As the sun dipped lower, the warm glow of the afternoon softened into a mellow, amber light. The streets of Rome began to quiet, the clamor of the morning and midday giving way to a slow, deliberate calm. Shadows stretched longer, curling around doorways, arches, and columns, and the city seemed to breathe in gentle, measured rhythms. Citizens wandered slowly through the streets, some returning from markets, others strolling toward quiet courtyards. Footsteps were light, almost imperceptible on the smooth cobblestones, and voices had softened into hushed murmurs. The city's heartbeat was subtle, yet steady, a slow, soothing pulse that carried through the warm evening air. Families paused in their homes, lighting small oil lamps whose flickering glow cast gentle patterns on stone walls. The scent of evening meals, bread, roasted vegetables, and simmering herbs, rose softly into the streets, mingling with the earthy aroma of stone warmed by the day's sun. Each movement, each gesture, each soft sound contributed to the tranquil rhythm of the evening, a gentle lullaby in motion. Children, now tired from their morning adventures and midday play, wandered slowly back to their homes, their small feet tracing quiet paths through shaded alleys. Their laughter was soft, fleeting, and measured, dissolving into the warm, amber light. Pets followed suit, cats curled in the shadows of doorways, dogs rested on sun-warmed stones, and birds settled along ledges, wings tucked, eyes closing in slow, deliberate peace. Artisans concluded their final tasks for the day. Potters wiped their hands, weavers set aside their looms, and stonemasons gently brushed away dust from finished carvings. The subtle clink of tools and the soft shuffle of feet were muted now, absorbed almost entirely into the city's hypnotic rhythm. Even the faint murmur of conversations between neighbors carried a slow, meditative cadence, as though each word had been carefully drawn out and placed in the evening air. The city seemed to lean into itself, embracing the soft descent of light, the gentle hush of motion, and the calming cadence of daily life winding down. Every alleyway, courtyard, and open space held the memory of hours past, the delicate imprint of deliberate gestures, soft sounds, and measured breaths. Rome, in the glow of evening, existed in serene balance, a city alive yet hushed, vibrant yet meditative, inviting anyone who wandered through its streets to breathe, relax, and sink gently into the hypnotic flow of an ancient Roman evening. As evening deepened, the soft amber of the sun faded, replaced by the gentle glow of oil lamps and lanterns. Their flickering light painted warm, shifting patterns across stone walls, cobblestones, and wooden shutters. Shadows lengthened and deepened, curling around corners and alleys, and the city exhaled a soft, meditative sigh, embracing the slow descent of night. Citizens moved with quiet deliberation through the dim streets. Footsteps were measured and soft, echoing faintly before fading completely. Conversations were hushed and sparse, voices drawn out in careful tones that seemed to dissolve into the ambient calm. Every gesture, the tilt of a head, the slow adjustment of a lamp, the gentle brush of a hand along a wall, was deliberate, unhurried, and hypnotically rhythmic. Lanterns glowed steadily outside homes and shops, their warm light reflecting on terracotta rooftops and marble columns. The soft clinking of chains, the subtle sway of lanterns in a mild evening breeze, and the faint murmur of water from fountains created a continuous, soothing symphony. Even animals moved in harmony with the dimming light, cats winding slowly through alleys, dogs curling in quiet corners, and birds perched silently on ledges, wings tucked and eyes half closed. Children, now quiet and calm, made their slow way home. Their small steps traced the glowing paths of lantern-lit streets, and their soft whispers of goodbyes floated briefly in the air before fading entirely. The scent of evening meals mingled with the lingering warmth of sun-baked stone, a comforting perfume that drifted lazily through open windows and alleys. Merchants had long folded their stalls and covered their goods. Their movements, careful and precise, contributed to the city's rhythmic calm. Tools and baskets were stacked neatly, coins set aside, and doors closed gently, all creating a subtle, hypnotic cadence that drifted through the streets. Even the air seemed to thicken with tranquility, holding each sound, each motion, and each breath in a suspended, serene flow. Rome, bathed in the golden glow of lanterns and the deepening shadows of twilight, existed as a city both awake and dreamlike. Every street, alley, and courtyard moved in a quiet, deliberate rhythm. Time became soft and pliant, measured not by urgency, but by the gentle, hypnotic pulse of evening life. Those who wandered these lanes could feel themselves carried slowly, softly, and peacefully into the calm embrace of night. As the sun disappeared beyond the distant hills, the streets of Rome became quieter, carrying only the soft echoes of daily life winding down. Citizens moved with deliberate calm, performing evening chores with careful, unhurried motions. Water was drawn slowly from wells, firewood stacked with gentle precision, and lamps lit one by one, their flickering glow casting a warm, steady illumination across stone floors and walls. Women carried baskets of food through narrow alleys, their steps measured and rhythmic. The soft rustle of cloth, the muted thump of baskets on cobblestones, and the faint jingling of small trinkets created a subtle, soothing harmony. Men returned from workshops and forums, adjusting tunics and sandals as they walked, their movements careful and unhurried, blending seamlessly into the gentle pulse of the city. In homes, tables were set slowly, and the soft clinking of pottery and utensils punctuated the quiet. Bread was broken into even pieces, olives arranged in shallow bowls, and wine poured with gentle care. Children moved quietly, their curiosity tempered by the slowing rhythm of evening, as they observed the deliberate motions of adults preparing for the night. Laughter, when it came, was soft and fleeting, absorbed into the ambient calm almost immediately. Artisans completed their final tasks, a potter wiped his hands clean, a weaver adjusted the last threads on a loom, and a stonemason brushed dust from finished carvings. The soft scrape of tools, the faint tap of stone, and the gentle hum of finishing work formed a subtle, hypnotic chorus, melding with the distant murmur of the streets and the warm, steady glow of lanterns. Even the city itself seemed to participate in this slow, evening ritual. Shadows stretched across rooftops and courtyards, moving imperceptibly with the lantern light. A mild breeze stirred leaves, carrying the faint, comforting scents of bread, herbs, and warm stone. Animals followed the city's rhythm, cats winding lazily through quiet corners, dogs curling into shadows, and birds settling silently atop ledges, their movements slow and deliberate. Time in Rome became soft, pliant, and meditative. Each motion, each sound, each breath contributed to a continuous, hypnotic rhythm that stretched the evening into a slow, gentle flow. The city, alive yet hushed, invited all who moved through it to synchronize with its calm pulse, to slow their own heartbeat, and to sink gradually into the serene, unhurried cadence of an ancient Roman evening. As twilight faded, Rome settled into the deep calm of night. Lanterns cast a soft, flickering glow across cobblestones, walls, and doorways, creating pools of gentle light amid the growing shadows. The streets, once filled with deliberate motion, were now nearly silent, save for the occasional, faint shuffle of a late wanderer or the gentle brush of a cat along stone edges. Homes were quiet, families gathered around modest tables, voices hushed, movements slow and careful. The scent of evening meals lingered briefly in the air, mingling with the cool night breeze that wandered through open windows and courtyards. Soft light spilled from small lamps, illuminating terracotta tiles, wooden shutters, and stone walls with a warm, steady glow. The city itself seemed to breathe in measured rhythm. Shadows stretched long and soft, curling over fountains, columns, and alleys, merging seamlessly with the darkened spaces between buildings. Cobblestones, warmed by the day's sun, released their heat slowly into the cool night, creating a gentle balance of warmth and shadow. Citizens moved minimally, finishing small, deliberate tasks, a lantern adjusted, a gate latched, a cloak hung to dry. Every motion was precise, quiet, and unhurried, echoing faintly before dissolving into the ambient calm. Children, tired from the day, settled quietly in homes, their soft whispers fading into gentle breathing. Pets found corners of warmth or shade, their slow movements matching the city's subdued rhythm. Artisans had long concluded their work. The spinning wheels, looms, and tools lay still, catching only the faint, ambient light. Dust motes floated lazily in the beams of lanterns, drifting like tiny, suspended stars. The gentle hush of night enveloped all, the soft rustle of leaves, the distant murmur of water in fountains, and the delicate creak of doors settling into their frames. Rome, in the quiet of night, existed as a city perfectly balanced between wakefulness and rest. Every street, alley, courtyard, and home shared in a meditative rhythm. Time seemed to stretch and slow, measured not by urgency or movement, but by the gentle, hypnotic cadence of life winding down. Those who walked the streets, or even imagined themselves within them, could feel the city's heartbeat, slow, steady, and soothing, carrying them gently into the calm embrace of sleep. In this deep, serene night, the city rested fully. Shadows held the memory of the day, lanterns flickered softly, and the streets lay in quiet repose. Rome, alive yet silent, continued its measured, hypnotic pulse, inviting all who encountered it to breathe, relax, and drift slowly into the gentle rhythm of an ancient Roman night. As midnight fell over Rome, the city became a place of hushed serenity. Streets, courtyards, and open squares lay under a gentle silver glow, cast by the moon rising slowly above terracotta rooftops. Shadows stretched long and soft, curling across walls, fountains, and arches, while the faint glimmer of moonlight danced delicately on stone surfaces. The air was still, carrying only the softest sounds, a distant owl, the faint ripple of water in a fountain, the gentle sigh of wind through leaves. Footsteps were rare and deliberate, echoing quietly before fading into the calm. Each movement seemed slower than before, measured, as if the night itself stretched time into a languid, hypnotic flow. Citizens who remained awake moved with extreme care. A figure carrying a small lantern traced gentle arcs across the streets, the light swaying slowly and casting warm, dancing patterns on the stones. Conversations, when they occurred, were hushed and brief, voices barely more than whispers, floating softly into the night before dissolving entirely. Faint scents mingled with the cool air, the lingering warmth of baked bread from earlier hours, the subtle perfume of flowers in private courtyards, and the earthy aroma of stone cooled by the fading day. Even these scents moved lazily, drifting in soft currents along alleys and open plazas. Animals participated in the city's deep calm. Cats slinked silently across rooftops, tails swaying gently. Dogs rested in shadowed corners, breathing slowly and evenly. Birds, perched silently atop columns and ledges, folded their wings and watched the stillness below. Every creature seemed to synchronize with the city's unhurried pulse, contributing to the hypnotic serenity that enveloped Rome. The moonlight traced gentle patterns over fountains and statues, illuminating textures and shapes in soft, silver detail. Dust motes floated like tiny stars in the pale light, drifting slowly with currents of air that seemed to barely move. Time became a fluid, pliant thing, moments stretched and blended seamlessly, measured not in urgency but in the quiet, meditative flow of the night. Rome, at midnight, existed as a city suspended in calm, a dreamlike tableau of light, shadow, and gentle motion. Streets and alleys whispered in the language of stillness, inviting anyone who wandered through them, or imagined themselves within them, to breathe deeply, relax fully, and sink slowly into the tranquil, hypnotic rhythm of an ancient Roman midnight. As midnight deepened, the soft glow of the moon bathed Rome in pale silver light. Fountains, once lively with the gentle rush of daytime water, now rippled quietly, their surfaces reflecting the moon and casting shimmering patterns onto nearby walls and cobblestones. The sound of water was subtle, slow, and rhythmic, a soft, continuous lullaby that merged seamlessly with the night. Courtyards, empty of daytime activity, held an otherworldly calm. Stone benches, flower beds, and small olive trees were touched by delicate moonlight, their shapes rendered serene and dreamlike. The air was cool and still, carrying faint, lingering scents of herbs and blossoms, mingled with the earthy warmth of stone and the faint trace of past meals, now settled into the quiet night. Citizens who wandered through these spaces did so with extreme care. Footsteps were slow and deliberate, echoing faintly before dissolving into the calm. Hands rested lightly on walls or railings as people paused to observe moonlight filtering through archways or tracing patterns on the cobbles. Every motion was extended and meditative, synchronized with the slow pulse of the city. Cats prowled silently through courtyards, their paws barely touching the stone. Dogs lay in small patches of shadow, breathing evenly and softly. Birds perched along ledges and rooftops, wings tucked close, heads dipping in gentle nods. Even these small movements, delicate and measured, contributed to the hypnotic rhythm of the night. The moonlight accentuated the textures of Rome's architecture, the smooth curve of a column, the jagged edges of a roof tile, the subtle reliefs of a carved frieze. Dust motes floated in the air like tiny stars, drifting slowly and randomly, yet harmonizing with the ambient rhythm of motionless life. The faintest rustle of leaves, the soft trickle of water, and the occasional distant whisper of the wind merged into a continuous, soothing symphony. Time in the moonlit courtyards and near quiet fountains seemed to stretch infinitely. Each moment was elongated, measured not by urgency but by gentle observation and deliberate motion. Rome, in this serene, silvered light, existed as a city caught between wakefulness and dream, offering a hypnotic tableau that invited slow, deep breaths, quiet reflection, and a gentle surrender to rest. The city held its midnight peace with unwavering calm. Every alley, courtyard, and fountain became part of a continuous lullaby, a soft cadence that carried through stone, air, and water. Anyone present, or imagining themselves there, could feel the slow, steady heartbeat of ancient Rome, guiding them gently into the tranquility of night. In the heart of the night, Rome lay in profound stillness. The streets, once alive with movement and sound, were now empty, stretching endlessly under the gentle silver glow of the moon. Shadows from buildings, columns, and statues lengthened and merged, forming soft, undulating patterns that shifted slowly with the light. Every alley seemed to breathe, each stone carrying the quiet memory of footsteps long past. A few citizens moved carefully through the silent streets, their motions measured and deliberate. Each step echoed softly against the cobblestones before fading into the night. Lanterns, carried slowly in outstretched hands, cast gentle pools of light, illuminating patches of stone, doorways, and walls while leaving other areas in comforting darkness. Every movement, every faint sound, was absorbed into the hypnotic rhythm of the city. Courtyards, quiet and deserted, held the faint shimmer of moonlight on fountains and statues. Water rippled softly in circular motions, reflecting the silver glow and casting delicate, flickering patterns across surrounding surfaces. Olive trees swayed minimally in the mild night breeze, their leaves rustling just enough to add a gentle whisper to the calm, soft symphony of the city. Animals moved with careful, deliberate grace. Cats slinked along shadows, paws silent against the stones. Dogs lay curled in corners, their breathing slow and even, tails occasionally flicking in rhythm with the night. Birds perched silently atop columns, heads dipping and rising in slow nods, as if in time with the city's heartbeat. Even insects, rare and subtle, added faint traces of sound, completing the delicate lullaby of the sleeping streets. The architecture of Rome, softened by moonlight, seemed dreamlike. Columns, arches, and walls glimmered with pale illumination, revealing textures and details that went unnoticed during the day. Dust motes drifted lazily through beams of moonlight, suspended like tiny, weightless stars, mirroring the unhurried cadence of the city itself. Time stretched and softened. Moments were not measured by haste or urgency, but by the slow, deliberate unfolding of light, shadow, and motion. Every step, glance, and sound blended into a continuous, hypnotic current. Rome, in the deep hours of night, existed as a city suspended between wakefulness and dream, where silent streets and wandering shadows became part of a meditative rhythm that invited calm, quiet reflection, and gentle surrender to rest. The city's heartbeat, steady and slow, carried through empty alleys, moonlit courtyards, and silent streets. Those present, or imagining themselves there, could feel the soothing cadence, the serene pulse of ancient Rome, inviting them to breathe deeply, relax fully, and sink gradually into the tranquil embrace of the night. As midnight deepened into the quietest hours, Rome rested beneath a soft, silvered sky. Rooftops glimmered faintly under the moon's gentle light, tiles and terracotta casting muted reflections across the calm city. Shadows stretched and merged, folding over walls, columns, and streets, creating a continuous, flowing tapestry of light and dark that moved imperceptibly with the night. The streets were nearly empty, alive only with the occasional careful footstep of a late wanderer or the subtle movement of a cat along the edge of a shadow. Every motion was slow, deliberate, and absorbed instantly into the ambient stillness. Lanterns, wherever they remained, flickered softly, their warm glow mingling gently with the cool moonlight, illuminating narrow alleys and quiet courtyards with a comforting, subdued warmth. In courtyards and gardens, fountains whispered softly, their water rippling in quiet circles that reflected the moon above. Olive trees swayed gently in the minimal breeze, leaves brushing one another in slow, delicate rhythms. The scent of night, cool stone, soft earth, lingering herbs, and distant traces of the day's warmth, drifted lazily through the city, mingling seamlessly with the soothing symphony of silence. Animals moved carefully, in tune with the gentle cadence of night. Cats prowled with quiet grace, dogs curled in soft shadows, and birds perched silently on ledges, heads dipping and rising in time with the stillness around them. Even the smallest creatures, subtle insects and nocturnal movements, contributed faint traces to the city's hypnotic rhythm. The architecture, bathed in moonlight, appeared serene and eternal. Columns, arches, and walls glimmered softly, revealing textures and details with a gentle clarity. Dust motes floated slowly in the air, drifting like tiny stars suspended in space, each movement harmonizing with the overall lullaby of the city. Time became a pliant, flowing thing, measured not in haste, but in the deliberate, unhurried rhythm of quiet life. Rome, in the deepest night, existed as a city in perfect balance between wakefulness and dream. Every rooftop, alley, courtyard, and street contributed to the final calm of the night, a continuous, meditative pulse that carried softly through stone, air, and water. Anyone wandering, or imagining themselves there, could feel the steady, soothing heartbeat of ancient Rome, inviting them to breathe slowly, relax completely, and drift gently into sleep. In this serene, moonlit calm, the city rested fully. Shadows, lanterns, fountains, and rooftops merged into a hypnotic tableau, a lullaby of light, sound, and movement. Rome, alive yet silent, held its breath in perfect tranquility, allowing all who experienced it to sink deeply into the soft, hypnotic rhythm of night. Before the first light of day, Rome rested in a deep, tranquil silence. Streets were empty, courtyards still, and fountains flowed with barely audible ripples, their soft murmurs the only sound to fill the cool night air. The city seemed suspended in a perfect pause, a space between the fading night and the approaching dawn. Shadows lingered long and soft across walls, arches, and cobblestones, stretching and blending together in muted patterns. The moon, low and pale, cast a gentle silver glow, illuminating rooftops, columns, and fountains with quiet serenity. Every detail, every texture, appeared more distinct in the soft pre-dawn light, yet the effect was calm, hypnotic, and dreamlike. A few citizens stirred quietly in their homes. Footsteps were measured, deliberate, and soft, barely disturbing the stillness. Lanterns were lit or carried slowly, their warm glow contrasting gently with the cool moonlight. Conversations, if they occurred, were whispered and stretched, words lingering briefly before dissolving into the calm. Animals moved with careful grace. Cats slinked along quiet streets, their paws making no sound. Dogs stretched and yawned, curling back into shadows, breathing slowly and evenly. Birds, perched along rooftops and ledges, ruffled their feathers softly, preparing for the first faint glimmers of light. Even the gentle rustle of leaves in the mild pre-dawn breeze added only the softest trace of sound. The air was cool and still, carrying faint scents from the city, the lingering warmth of stone from the day before, distant traces of herbs, faint hints of bread and wine, and the subtle freshness of the approaching morning. Every element, the scent, the light, the sound, and the movement, blended into a gentle, hypnotic rhythm, the quiet pulse of the city before the day began. Rome, in this pre-dawn hour, existed as a city in soft suspension. Time seemed to stretch, each moment slow and meditative. Streets, alleys, and courtyards held the calm memory of the night and the promise of the day to come. Anyone present, or imagining themselves there, could feel the serene heartbeat of Rome, steady and soothing, guiding them gently into a state of quiet reflection, calm, and deep relaxation. As the first tendrils of dawn touched the horizon, Rome began its slow, measured awakening. Pale light crept gently over rooftops, columns, and statues, painting the city in soft hues of pink, gold, and lavender. Shadows retreated gradually, stretching long and delicate across the cobblestones, then shrinking into themselves as sunlight seeped into every corner. The streets remained largely empty, though the faintest movements hinted at life stirring. Footsteps were deliberate and unhurried, echoing softly as citizens ventured out to prepare for the day. Each step was measured, each gesture slow, blending perfectly with the quiet rhythm of the awakening city. Lanterns were extinguished, their soft glow replaced by the growing light of dawn, flickering once and fading into memory. Courtyards caught the first rays of the sun, illuminating fountains and gardens with a tender glow. Water shimmered on stone surfaces, reflecting tiny flashes of gold and silver, while olive trees and shrubs swayed minimally in the lightest of breezes. Birds began their gentle songs, soft and scattered, harmonizing with the slow pulse of the city rather than breaking its calm. The sense of morning began to drift through the streets. Freshly baked bread from early bakeries mingled with the faint aroma of dew-washed stone, the subtle perfume of flowers, and the earthy warmth of the waking city. Each scent moved lazily through the air, inviting citizens and wanderers alike to inhale slowly, aligning their own rhythm with that of Rome. Animals joined the gentle awakening. Cats stretched in doorways, tails curling, eyes half closed as they greeted the soft light. Dogs shook off sleep and padded quietly along shaded paths, their steps deliberate. Even the smallest insects began to stir, moving in slow, unhurried patterns that contributed subtly to the overall calm of the morning. The cobblestones, warmed slightly by the emerging sunlight, glimmered faintly, reflecting the muted colors of the sky. Dust motes danced lazily in the light, suspended as if in a delicate, floating rhythm. Time seemed to soften, measured not in urgency, but in the slow, hypnotic unfolding of light, shadow, and movement. Rome, at the first light of dawn, existed in perfect balance, a city between night and day, dream and wakefulness. Streets, alleys, courtyards, and fountains pulsed softly with life, each element harmonizing in a gentle, continuous cadence. Those who wandered, or imagined themselves there, could feel the slow heartbeat of the city, steady, serene, and soothing, guiding them gently into the calm, meditative flow of a new Roman day. As the dawn light grew softer and warmer, the streets of Rome began to hum faintly with the earliest motions of the city. Smoke drifted lazily from the chimneys of small bakeries, curling upward and catching the gentle pink and gold of the rising sun. The aroma of fresh bread filled the air, warm and inviting, yet slow and measured, drifting through empty alleys and quiet courtyards. Bakers worked deliberately, their movements precise and unhurried. Kneading dough, shaping loaves, and tending the ovens, each gesture was extended and rhythmic, a soft pulse blending seamlessly with the city's awakening. The gentle crackle of fire, the subtle scrape of tools against stone counters, and the faint thump of bread placed on wooden surfaces created a calm, soothing symphony. Citizens began to stir within their homes. Curtains were drawn back slowly, letting in the early light. Doors opened with soft creaks, and footsteps traced quiet paths along stone floors. Conversations, when they began, were gentle and hushed, drawn out in careful tones that matched the slow heartbeat of the city. Each small motion, the lifting of a basket, the brushing of a tunic, the turning of a key in a door, added to the hypnotic rhythm of morning life. Children, still sleepy from the night, moved quietly through courtyards, chasing drifting dust motes or the faint shadows of passing cats. Their steps were light, measured, and in harmony with the calm pulse of the awakening city. Dogs stretched and padded softly alongside them, tails flicking slowly, eyes blinking in the gentle sunlight. Lanterns were extinguished, and their faint warmth mingled with the soft glow of the morning sun. Fountains rippled lazily in courtyards, water catching the light in subtle glimmers, while leaves rustled in minimal breeze, each motion deliberate, each sound absorbed into the ambient calm. Dust motes floated in beams of light, tiny golden sparks suspended in the quiet air. Time in Rome at this early hour was soft and pliant, measured not in urgency but in deliberate, gentle flow. The city moved as a single, cohesive organism, every street, alley, courtyard, and rooftop harmonizing with the slow, hypnotic rhythm of awakening. Rome, in these first moments of dawn, invited all who observed it, or imagined themselves within it, to breathe deeply, slow their heart, and sink fully into the tranquil pulse of the city. The gentle warmth of bakers' fires, the subtle aroma of bread, and the quiet stirring of citizens combined into a soothing, meditative tableau. Each element, the light, the shadow, the scent, and the sound, contributed to a hypnotic cadence that carried the city, and anyone wandering through it, gently into the calm flow of a new Roman day. As the sun rose higher, its gentle rays stretched across the Forum, illuminating columns, statues, and open spaces in soft, golden light. The warmth of the early day caressed the stones, spreading slowly over cobblestones, terraces, and the worn steps of temples. Shadows retreated quietly, curling and shrinking, leaving the city bathed in a calm, serene glow. Citizens moved slowly into the open spaces, their footsteps light and deliberate. Senators, merchants, and townsfolk made their way toward the heart of the Forum, each motion unhurried, each gesture extended in time. Conversations were soft, measured, and drawn out, floating gently into the ambient calm of the morning air. Every glance, nod, and careful adjustment of clothing contributed to the tranquil rhythm of the waking city. The early bustle of the Forum was subtle and hypnotic. Traders arranged goods with deliberate care, their hands lifting and placing wares in slow, rhythmic motions. Coins changed hands quietly, clinking softly before being absorbed entirely into the gentle cadence of the day. Even the movement of carts over cobblestones was measured, the wooden wheels creaking softly in harmony with the pulse of the city. Children wandered through the Forum, tracing slow paths between columns and statues. Their laughter, soft and fleeting, drifted upward, blending seamlessly with the warm sounds of the awakening city. Pets followed them, cats winding around benches, dogs padding gently behind their owners, each movement synchronizing with the unhurried pace of life around them. The light of sunrise enhanced every detail, the smooth curve of marble, the rough texture of terracotta, the delicate patterns carved into stone. Dust motes danced lazily in beams of sunlight, tiny suspended sparks drifting slowly in the warm morning air. Even the breeze was gentle, stirring leaves and carrying the subtle aroma of bread, herbs, and warm stone. Time in the Forum seemed to stretch, measured not in urgency, but in the deliberate unfolding of light, motion, and sound. Every step, every gesture, every breath contributed to a continuous, hypnotic rhythm that invited calm and quiet reflection. Rome, at sunrise over the Forum, existed in perfect balance, alive with gentle movement yet suspended in serene stillness, a city both awake and meditative. For those wandering through its arches and courtyards, or simply imagining themselves there, the city's heartbeat was slow, steady, and soothing. The first light of day, the gentle murmur of activity, and the hypnotic rhythm of the Forum combined to create a soft, meditative lullaby, guiding observers gently into the tranquil flow of the morning and the unhurried rhythm of life in ancient Rome.